Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back. You already know I'm in the lab getting ready to cook something up for the YouTube audience today. I'm going to be making a little piece, but before explaining the idea that I have for today, I just want to preface that I am not a professional graphic designer by any means. Everything that you're about to witness is all self-taught skills over time. This isn't meant to be a tutorial or to show you guys like the most efficient way to get something done in Photoshop. That's not the point of this. It's mainly just to document my artistic process, how I think while I do stuff, and hopefully people can learn something. Hopefully, if not, it'll at least be cool. But without any further yapping, I'm just gonna get into the idea and the inspiration for today's design. So recently, I've been listening to a ton of like witch house music, as you can see. And if for anybody who knows that genre, they know it's absolutely just chaotic. But there's like this dark undertone, these feelings that get evoked through the sounds in the production. Like the number one band that does that for me is Crystal Castles, and I've been listening to a ton of Crystal Castles, specifically, like, God, this is like my favorite album of all time, all genres, I think, at the moment. But today I want to make kind of a piece that is inspired by the Witch House, Crystal Castles, Salem, whatever, that sound. And I want the piece to kind of evoke a similar vibe that a track from one of these albums may evoke, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I went on Pinterest. I saved some like Y2K Tumblr aesthetic type of things. I don't even know. I don't really know what to call this, but I saved like these 5 images right here, and I think that should be enough to do what I want to do. I'm gonna be starting with this as my background, and we're gonna make that full size of the page, and I'm going to straighten it out a little bit. I want these to be completely aligned with horizontally, so I'm just going to enlarge that till I have it. Perhaps a little smaller. Yeah, this will do. That's a cool starting foundation. Before moving on, I'm gonna go to the filter gallery. What I'm trying to do right now is just get like a background. I want a vibe to be established from this background image. Maybe something dark like this. Honestly, this is perfect. I'm gonna just commit to that right away. This gives. It looks like it's something just so ordinary, but when you add this effect, this filter, it kind of just makes it look ominous. And that's like all of these songs. Like, you listen to it on the surface, it's like this kind of like beepy boppy cool production, but then you really listen and you're like, dang, this is kind of dark. And that's kind of the vibe that I'm going for with this graphic that I'm making. I actually just cut the video there because I could not find the thing that I wanted to use next just did not work, and I had to cut out I just spent like 10 minutes playing around with something that was completely useless. But anyways, I went back onto Pinterest, found this cool little design very similar to this, and I am gonna throw this in. And pretty much what I'm going to do instantly is go over to the adjustment modes, and I think I'm going to throw divide on there because, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to enlarge this. I think this is pretty good. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I'm going to go back over to Pinterest again, go to my profile. I'm going to grab this one next. And right now what I'm trying to do is just take a bunch of this. I don't know what this is called, like what this artistic technique or like style is. I think it's just like it looks like ceramics or like sculpting or something, but I'm taking these Tumblr-esque sculptures and just making them into something bigger, more coherent, adding life to this barren canvas. I don't even know what I'm saying. Let's see. That could probably not. That could be a little smaller. I like having it up in the corner like this. It doesn't really match this one color-wise, so I'm gonna get a hue and saturation layer, make it only apply to layer 2, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of that. We do that. Be a little less saturation. I don't think that needs to be changed much. Yeah, that looks pretty, yeah, they match pretty well. Fairly decent. Alright, so with that being done, I'm pretty satisfied. I think that the purple, the drowned out purple in the back mixed in with these kind of beige, lighter colors creates kind of a dreary feeling, at least to me when I look at this. It no longer just looks like a bunch of sculptures combined on a paper. It kind of makes me wonder a little bit more of what's going on. What's the point of this? Why is it so sad looking? And I think that that's the goal here. And I also, like, I titled this piece MM, and I have like a spin-off band name that I came up with. There's Crystal Castles. From MM stands for Marble Mansions. I thought that it would be cool to add some text with that Marble Mansions somewhere in here at some point once I get some more form established or whatever. And I think these sculptures kind of, like, the filters that I've put on them, I don't know if they were originally marble to begin with. They were some kind of like rock, but with the filters being added, this looks like a marble, like a marble material, if you know what I mean. But it wouldn't be Marble Mansions without some kind of mansion, right? So that's why, if you saw this, that's why I saved this. I'm going to put this in somehow. I'm going to throw it in, and I think I'm just going to kind of like put it in between the two other things that I've added. Obviously, we need a adjustment on it, or a blending mode change. I think I've been saying adjustment layer this whole time. That's awkward. But yeah, I think we can make this a little bigger. I kind of want it mainly on the left side of the page. Yeah, this looks good. Definitely gonna need to get the soft eraser out, and yeah, and I'm just cleaning up the edges. I don't want there to be like any visual edges on this. And yeah, that looks good. I'm going to combine these, duplicate them like always in case I mess it up. All right, and now that we have this, I am going to go back into the filter gallery. And I was kind of clicking around, and I think that patchwork is going to be the one that I use, or I end up using here. And I'm going to make, and I know that's very abrasive, but I'm going to show you a little technique that I like to use. I'll make the patchwork commitment, and then what I'll do is, since I duplicated the layer and there is no patchwork on this one, I will merge them with a blending mode. And if we can find the right one, I want to keep the kind of grid-like aspect, but I don't want it to be as intense as it is on the main layer. And I think I'm going to pick one of these three. And I think overlay. I think we're just going to go with the overlay one. So I think with the new layer here, we have enough going on in this space where I don't need to go back into Pinterest and drag in a new image to combine. I think we have just enough chaos occurring. Like, you can still make out everything that's on the page, but I don't want to overdo it. But what I'm gonna do here right now I don't know if there's necessarily a way for me to throw in the text that I want to without hindering what's going on here. So what I'm going to try and do is crop it. And that looks pretty good. That's pretty symmetrical. Cool. So cropping it and turning back on our white background layer. I don't exactly know how big or small I want this yet, but with like this now giving us some more room, I think it'll be easier to add text. And I have this, I have Helvetica selected right now. I'm in the italic setting. When I look at the Crystal Castle stuff, I see this, and it's not the exact font, but it might be. It's similar. It's close enough. I don't know. I am going to just go ahead and write out the words marble mansions. And I am going to obviously make that bigger. And the more that I look at this, the more I feel like I'm kind of making an album cover right now. And album covers aren't rectangular. So I'm going to create a new like 1350 by 1350 canvas and just go with that, honestly. I don't know why this is gray. We're going to add a color overlay. But I'm just going to take this and this. I'm going to throw it onto a square canvas. There was probably an easier way for me to do that, but honestly, I don't really care. I kind of want to keep them separate. And like one thing that I noticed from the Crystal Castles cover, I like how they duplicate the text like that. I might do it in a different way though. I might add a drop shadow with distance, and it should probably not be white. I think that's cool. Gives a little more character to it, a little more action. That's always welcome for me. So with that being done, I'm looking at this from a distance right now. I'm sitting back in my seat, and I'm thinking we're close. We almost have a final product, but there's still just a little too much space, like a little too much emptiness for me to really be able to say that safely. And also, this is I'm looking at the graphic that we made, and it's a little bit messy. I think I want to add some more texture or another filter or something to it because it's a little too abrasive. Sponge is a good filter to chill things out if you've got like a really loud image. Even just adding sponge with 0 changes to the actual filter can do a lot for you, or at least that's what I've found it very helpful for me. And I'm just trying to decide exactly. Brush size at 2 is good. Yeah, that looks a little more clean. But still, like I said, there's hella empty space, and I need something to add. And this is where I don't have any plans or anything, so I'm just going to go to the homepage of Pinterest. This is normally what I do when I think that there's something that needs to be added, but I don't exactly know what. And I find something that kind of matches the vibe of the piece. I think this does. And what I'm going to do is just make it really big. Throw it over everything. And change the blending mode. There was one that I saw. It's very, very, very subtle. But if you look at the Marble Mansions, like the drop shadow layer, it kind of turned it purple. Like the color of this image really just tinted it for me, and I'm gonna keep it like that. Yeah, nice. But still didn't solve a problem of all the space. So I gotta find, and I might be looking in the complete wrong place right now for inspiration. Maybe not. Maybe not. Ooh, I have a feeling about this. A little bit of a gut feeling here that I could have found something. It needs to, oh, ooh, dang, chill. All right, it needs to be right here though. All right, yeah, nah, there is not much happening with the blending mode. I think I'm gonna go to the filter gallery real quick and then try again. Because this is a little bit, there's a little too much happening in this picture. I think. Maybe some diffuse glow could help us here. This like it almost works perfectly how it is, because the texture of a marble surface is very similar to what the tree branches are doing with the white layer in the back. See? Like, I don't know why I didn't just throw a marble like that in the background. I almost like the idea of trying to make it look like marble without actually using marble. It's fitting for this aesthetic that I'm going for. It's off-putting. It makes it a little more just like sinister. That it's not, like, I'm not directly giving y'all marble. I sound like I've lost my marbles. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, guys. Like, I sometimes I enter a flow state of just like working, and I lose the ability to articulate what I'm doing. So that's happened a few times, and I apologize. If there are random cuts, that is probably because I went on a tangent that just makes zero sense. But I'm back in the filter gallery again, guys. I think I want to make it slightly less realistic. Maybe just using the same filter that I used earlier can do that for me, and it does. It's pretty good. Oh, God, I hate this thing. I keep selecting it by accident. I'm messing with this. I'm about to find the perfect position for this. We're almost there. We're so close. And I just had an idea that I probably should have had a very long time ago, and that would be to flip it horizontally. I think that might be it. I think that might be the perfect position for it. Let's go. I'm not going to waste any more time on that because that was really annoying. And it still isn't finished. It could be, but I think we need just one more thing. Just one more thing, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. And I don't know if we need to do color or just something basic. I'm really just waiting for it to pop out at me. I don't know exactly what I want. I'm gonna let the final layer come to me. We are definitely close. Honestly, I think this is it. Let's give this a go. This could be a little impairing. We'll find out. I think that I may have found it. I think that's it. This, like, that extra shadow just gives it even more of that sinister vibe that I was originally explaining that I was going for. With the combo of everything that we have happening in the piece right now, that just brings it together. And the very final thing, I suppose, that I will do is a color correction. First, I'm going to group them and just get one picture here. Fire. And I like to make a copy. Let's go to the camera raw filter. Whoa, yeah, I forgot I did not crop it. Shoot. You guys know it's this square right here that we're looking at. We'll just focus on that. We're going to go from top to bottom. Exposure. Increase a tiny bit. Contrast. I want a little more contrast. Tiny bit extra contrast. Highlights. I'm going to bring those down. Shadows. I think shadows can go down just a bit. Whites will... Oh, wait. I think I'm going to increase the white. I'm going to bring this down. I guess I should have mentioned this, but in my head, as I'm doing these final color corrections, I'm thinking of this album cover, 2 by Crystal Castles. This is like, if you look, this picture's cold. You can't tell me that this isn't a cold image. I want like, I don't mean cold as in sick, like cool, like holy, that's awesome. I mean cold as in like quite literally you step outside shivering, you need a jacket to be in the location of that picture. And that's what I'm going for with as I color correct here. And this is like, now this right here is an important moment. I don't know if I want to do more. I think I'm going to decrease the texture just a little bit because it makes it more dreamy looking. Clarity can be increased. And dehazing, as much as I want to bomb that up, I think reducing it might do more for the piece overall, make it look better. Vibrance is just ever so slightly increased here. Saturation probably the same. Detail, I'm going to skip the curve, so I'll do that in a second. Noise reduction, no. Color noise reduction, no. Sharpening, nah. Nothing really that needs to happen there. And honestly, optics, distortion, yeah, nah. Nope. Do not need. 0. We're just going to click OK here. And that is subtle but effective in color grading. And I'm just going to throw a curves layer on the top and see if there's any last minute thing. This is the final part. Yeah, and I think with that, I am ready to call it a day. One last check in the filter gallery. Hold on, guys, forgive me, please. I just want it to be perfect. I think we need a tiny bit of something. It's not perfect. What's gonna do it, guys? What's gonna do it for me? Definitely not. Sometimes this filter does it for me. Not this time, though. Grain! That's what it's missing. It needs grain. How did I forget the grain? I knew it was something simple. Alright. That will do. Boom! And like that, everybody, we have a finished Crystal Castles inspired, Witch House inspired piece. Again, nothing insane. This is by no means a masterpiece. Just me having fun in Photoshop and filming it. And hopefully putting out something cool for everybody to enjoy. But anyways, yeah, that will conclude today's art session, and I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope somebody may have gotten something from this, in that I wasn't just delusionally yapping away the whole time. I hope I maybe gave some decent advice, or at least showed you guys something cool. But anyways, if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm doing the typical YouTuber outro. Comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next one. And yeah, this is just me doing my thing once more. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thanks again. Peace out.